infinite ammo.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Quarter Circle Forward. This is not a podcast about dating sims. Unfortunately, not. I wish it was, but it isn't. It's not a. It's not a podcast about dolls. Unfortunately for Ren, that's not what it's about. This is a podcast about fighting games. This is
That's
the
right.
third episode that we are dubbing Forbidden Toriyama OC is revealed. And yeah, it's pretty hot. She's hot. But today we kind of got like no news. Well, we have news, but not that much. So we're gonna just be talking shit and talking about this crap. So I'm going to bring up the first topic as soon as I find it in this bitch. What do you guys think about me?
You're a faggot.
Oh,
You the hoe. Who
Damn,
spells
you the hoe.
Reaperz? Who spells Reaperz with a Z? Come on.
Damn.
fucking classy, you motherfucker.
Ooh, got
That
me.
makes it very good. What do you guys think about Street Fighter? Is it still called Street Fighter EX, or is it just not?
No, it's still not.
They still don't have a name for it, I'm pretty sure.
Just
Isn't it
call it
called
Street
like
Fighter.
Akira some shit?
Eureka.
Just call it
Yeah.
Street Fighter something.
It's currently known as Eureka's EX Fighter Project or something along those lines.
Oh,
Amazing.
really
Fighting
nice.
Layer Reborn.
Did you guys see the new character that they call Doctrine Dark? I
Yeah,
keep trying to say
yes.
Darkwing Duck.
You know, I am pretty interested in this fighting game. I mean, I know about it. I've known about the EX series, but I've never actually played them. But this one kind of captured my attention. I like what's his face, Skullomania and Garuda. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The one thing that was really disappointing about Doctrine Dark is we only got to see him. We didn't get to see him in action.
Oh, they do that with new characters.
Yes.
They show it later on. with
Like
these-
Eureka has been dripping out information bit by bit.
Mhm.
It's kind of annoying, but at least I know the game is progressing.
What do you guys think about the art style so far
For him.
for everyone?
Ooh. For that game, I can tell they're putting effort into it.
I really think there's room for improvement. There's a little too like effecty, like there's so much color going on. They really could do a lot more to make it more clear.
Hmm.
But that's probably just part of the in development process.
When it comes to that game, I mean, I do think it could look better, but like in motion, it actually looks really good for some reason. I'm actually pretty hyped for that game, to be honest.
It
Yeah.
doesn't help that the only stage we've realistically seen is this like this raining stage with thunderstorms going off. It really doesn't help you depict as to what is going on most of the
Correct.
time.
That's correct. Somebody give me an imitation of Ren's voice and tell me what he'd probably say, please.
Let me give you an imitation of you being stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Whoa.
take that L real quick because I did fuck up. What were you gonna say, Stallion?
no, nothing.
I fucked up because people don't know who the fuck is talking right now. So we gotta do intros, motherfucker. I was waiting for Renegade to say something, but I caught it. Anyways, I'm going to introduce you to these guys that are talking that you do not know who the fuck is who. We also have a new baby member in our group. Not really a baby. I actually beat his ass in MVCI. Hint, wink, wink. So I'm going to be introducing the co-host of this podcast because I believe he's kind of busy at the moment, Mr. Renegade Operative.
What's up, people? What's happening? Hope you're having a good night.
Absolutely. Next up is going to be Mr. HadesManticore.
Hello, that's me.
That's him. That is him. Italian Stallion.
That's me, one of the 7 people excited for Raiden and Injustice.
No, I don't think it's 7. I think it's just you. But
Good.
Mr. Kaneki.
People gonna catch me.
Yo, we gotta talk about Injustice after this intro.
I see the chat is asking about this mysterious baby member, but if you've heard this person's voice before in a certain area in a dumpster, we picked up this baby from that said dumpster. We cradled it, we washed it, and then we threw it back in the dumpster because
Oh,
He's
shit.
just a prom night dumpster baby.
ladies and gentlemen,
Damn.
I'm introducing the brand new member of this podcast, unless he decides to leave for the other one because this podcast sucks, Mr. RADRAD.
Bitch, where's my bottle?
Hey, I got it right here, mofo. It's called MPCI. Don't tell
Yeah.
anybody you beat me.
No, 20 times though?
Shut up.
Damn. Wow, you ain't the only
truth is
one.
revealed.
I wasn't even using my best characters, but we're
Shut
not here to
up.
talk about that.
Don't
No,
worry, I
that's
bought
not.
Reapers at launch.
I didn't.
Okay. Damn.
Everybody in the freaking stream chat, erase that from your memories because it's not true. That
Uh-huh.
is true. That is true. I lost.
No, it's been recorded on the internet, therefore it must be true.
I did record it. Yes.
In 60 FPS.
Exactly.
440p. No,
And-
you know what I mean.
And of course, this gorgeous voice, this melodious voice that you're hearing is Renegade, not Renegade.
Your voice sounds like you've been eating rocks and shit, so I don't blame you.
I am Reaperz. You know me as the Peacemaker, aka
AKA Persona Weeb, AKA bad fighting game player.
No, I actually am pretty
No.
good at fighting games.
No,
That's
Oh.
my descriptor.
I suck against other people.
Well,
It's pretty embarrassing.
man. Anyways, lies aside, very big lies aside, tell me about the new characters of Dragon Ball, which includes the please don't take my custom character, Android 21, Yamcha, shitty Yamcha, and shitty Tien, and
Hey now.
yeah, those shit characters that nobody cares about.
Well, I mean, if you watch Dragon Ball, they were relevant then, but in Dragon Ball Z, they aren't. So,
No, Yamcha's relevant. He's just there to remind you that hey, he can't do anything.
well, yeah, and he gets blown up by Sabermen, so there's that.
Like a loser.
But I'm pretty excited. It's pretty fun when there's characters that are more hype than they are in MVCI. So that's pretty much a plus, even though these characters were not relevant in Dragon Ball Z. Android 21, I did not expect a new Android of all people. I thought they were gonna go with like something else, but I am all for it. Like a completely new and different character that a lot of people are drawing porn of. So I guess that's something, at least.
Rule 34, man.
It's Rule 34 already when she
Yeah.
comes.
It's the internet, so it was bound to
Booty.
happen.
Did we talk
Booty on
about...
point.
Hold on for a second. Did we talk about the beta for it already?
No.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I didn't play it, so I have no idea.
Okay, because I'm not cool.
I got the cock block email from Bandai Namco, so I
I
didn't
did
get to
too.
play the beta.
Oh,
I didn't. I got in.
I
I'm
got
not-
checked down.
you
I
lucky
just
fuck.
forgot.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Xbox One version of the beta.
Did it suck or something?
Yes, it's called...
ass.
It's called the servers on there is going to be terrible, and Xbox Live was down during the beta.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Well, Microsoft, that's one way to hold the loaf.
And and let me remind you all that they have the marketing rights for this game. So imagine that happening again at launch.
Oh, they're not gonna do anything with it in the first place, so yeah.
You have to gather the 7 Dragon Balls and wish for better netcode. Wish for better servers.
I mean, we kind of did. It's called the PS4 PC version. You know?
Basically, yeah.
PS1?
Yeah. You had the Xbox version, right?
PS1 version.
Wait, for what?
For the beta.
Yeah, because they were giving them out for free if you signed up for the Insider app, which that was a smart move, but the servers wasn't. They fucked up on the servers. That's why I'm not getting it on Xbox.
All right.
Or
Not many
was
people
never
are.
would. I was going to try. No, I was going to say I was going to try to get at least something on there, but nope, they failed me. I'm sorry.
As far as Android 21 is concerned, do we know 100% whether or not she is a playable character?
I'm pretty sure
Because when she was first revealed in like the Famitsu thing, she didn't have any fighting statistics attached to her.
That is interesting. I don't know. Maybe she's like a secret final boss. Who knows?
Yeah, apparently I'm hearing that she's like the final boss, but I don't believe it.
What, that she's playable?
Well, yeah, they showed like a story mode trailer. It did not really show much other than the fact that she's gonna have some interaction with the Z fighters.
If she has gameplay, then she will be playable.
Yeah.
I think the story trailers is implying she is the cause of all of these Android versions of all the Z fighters running around and fucking shit up.
Yeah, pretty much, because she has that sort of mysterious yet dangerous trait. So I assume they're gonna go that route of her being like a final boss type character, and maybe she's unlockable later in the story, which I don't mind at all.
I don't mind that.
That being said, I really do like the design. I really do like the outfit. I hope she is playable.
Same here.
Yeah, she's really good. I am not happy with how she was presented. You know, when we got that picture of her, and it looked like, you know, Toriyama just finished drawing her, and they're just like, I put it out, and everybody else was like really nicely rendered and shit. I thought that was kind of weird.
My question is, why does an android need glasses, though?
That is, I don't know. Maybe she's like still, because the androids are like kind of human, cyborgish, right?
It's the same reason that Bayonetta wears it. It's just for style.
Maybe that's the reason. Maybe it's just style. Who knows?
I'm gonna switch over to a question real quick. Mr. Cyber Iceblood asks, what is your favorite and most hated fighting game? I'll let you guys go first.
I'll let everyone else go. I gotta gather my thoughts here.
Favorite?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off. Favorite would probably be probably Marvel vs. Capcom 2, to be honest. Like, a lot of fond memories playing that game, and even though there was only like 4 viable characters, it was still fun as hell. And I mean, least favorite, it's kind of hard to pick since there's just been like so much garbage over the years. But I don't know, I'd probably pick like Street Fighter 5 or something.
So the question again is favorite and least favorite?
Yeah.
Favorite is probably going to be Mortal Kombat 9, because that game really, really revitalized Mortal Kombat for me. I would say least favorite, I really, really did not like MVC3 over time, because eventually they said, you know, you're getting Ultimate like 6 months later, so that kind of rendered vanilla pointless. And I was like, the way Capcom was doing the on-disc DLC thing, that really diminished my fun over time. And I'm like, okay, there's characters on the disc that you have to buy later, and that's not really the best practice. So eventually I just started hating that game a little bit.
All right.
I guess I'll go. My favorite fighting game is probably Fight of Gods. So good. No, I'm just kidding. I would have to go with Mortal Kombat Deception. I love that game. You know, it was, the conquest mode. Liu Kang was busted when you fought Onaga. Just bicycle kick him, and Onaga I think takes like double damage. It's ridiculous. And the roster was pretty good in that game, save for a couple of them. I think what the fuck was his name? Darius. There we go. He sucks. And
Darius is so bland.
I think my least favorite fighting game that I've played is probably Street Fighter V. Don't get me wrong, I like Guile and Nash, but the lack of the arcade mode really killed it for me. Because I am not like a super competitive fighting game player. I do it from time to time. I like the arcade mode. I always do that in fighting games over going online.
Right.
So for myself, my absolute favorite fighting game of all time is Capcom vs. SNK 2.
Yay.
I can constantly go back to that game. It's like all the great characters that I was introduced to through that game, and all the different grooves that capture the playstyle and systems of various Capcom and SNK fighting games. It's the perfect evolution of the previous Capcom vs. SNK project that was a year ago. It's a game that still really holds up today. And I can't really say I have a least favorite just because I can play any kind of fighting game for like a long period of time. It's just such an addicting genre. Which means my least favorite fighting game I've ever played is Dive Kick.
Oh, Dive Kick is... Yeah. That sounds like something you would play couch co-op with, but other than that, I would not take that game seriously at all. I just couldn't.
There is very little, if any, depth to that type of fighting game.
Yes, you just hit someone one time,
sure
it's
that
over.
was a joke game.
I know. It's
But
a
it was
joke
still a
game,
shitty
but
joke.
It was still... People were still holding tournaments at majors and
What?
obviously turning it into something.
The one-hit kill fighting game has it. What is the fucking whatever?
That is so weird to turn into a tournament. Seriously, that's crazy.
It was like a side tournament at Evo for like years.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
I think Kaneki is having some tech issues, so I'm gonna go.
So Dive Kick gets to thrive at majors, but Primal Rage does not.
Well,
Oh, I remember Primal Rage.
Bring back Windjammers.
no,
Yes.
Best game.
no.
Didn't that get released on PS4, or am I thinking of something else?
Yes, PS4
Yes, it did.
Bring back Crazy Taxi.
Release Primal
I don't
Rage
mind
2.
That's not a
Samba
fighting
de
game.
Amigo. Come on,
Nah,
get the
Primal
maracas
Rage
out.
is garbage.
It's only a matter of time before Primal Rage 2 shows up at Combo Breaker's Mystery Game Tournament. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah. All right, my favorite fighting game of all time has to be Third Strike. It's really fun to play. I love the parry system. Alex is pretty cool too. He's a cool guy. Least favorite is Blaze Blue. I don't give a fuck about Blaze Blue.
I mean, shit. I always wanted to play one, but yeah, I never had enough interest to try it, so I kind of agree.
Yeah, I'd rather play the Persona game for obvious reasons. Anyway, Kaneki, did you go?
No, I have not. Give me a second.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't really like Blaze Blue because, you know, I don't know. I just don't like it. It just feels weird. I know. I think RADRAD, you like Blaze Blue, don't you?
If anything, I picked up Central Fiction last year. The story was just the most background noise thing that I have ever done. I put that on for the sake of just when do I unlock Susanoo already?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
I've played Blaze Blue. Who's the Ranga, the guy with the red coat and the white hair?
Ragnar
You're
the
thinking of
Bloodedge?
Ragnar.
That guy.
Ragnar.
And the other guy, the samurai. Oh, starts with an H.
Hakumen.
Thank you. There it is. I played as those two characters, and I sucked ass with them.
I'm sorry.
I've never been good at anime fighting games really.
I'm ass at Japanese ones. You should see
I'm
me.
kind
play
of good
Street
at
Fighter.
P4 Arena, but that's about it.
Maybe not Street Fighter. You should see me play Tekken. That's embarrassing.
All right. I can
Mhm.
answer the question now.
Go ahead.
My least favorite fighter. Actually, I will put this as the worst fighter, even worse than Street Fighter 5. Good old Street Fighter 1. Yes, the infamous Street Fighter 1, where you can't even do Hadoukens properly. No, dash in order to even achieve that. Along with horrible hitboxes, and let me tell you, this is like I was believe their first fighting game. Man, it was horrible.
Street
But-
Fighter 1 was a case of retrospect. In order to do a fireball at all, you had to press the punch button on the exact fucking frame that your joystick presses forward. It was a nightmare.
Oh my god.
But that game had some of the best voice acting.
What voice acting?
What's then? But don't forget there are many guys like you all over the world.
And let me tell you, Sagat is the most powerful in that game.
Oh, so Sagat's power is canon to the rest of the series.
My
What? Nash got nerfed in Street Fighter 5? That's whack. I'm not playing it again.
Oh, a lot of people said
Yeah.
that.
Nash didn't get nerfed, he got murdered.
Yeah, he
They're
did.
putting
That's
it
so
lightly.
whack.
Thanks for ruining my favorite character, Capcom.
Season 2 nerfed a lot of people for some reason.
Yeah,
I
that's
figured
why
as
people
much.
dropping. My favorite, however, it's a tough one because while I do like Tekken 7 for the gameplay, I like Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 for like the whole thing from the gameplay to the story, even though I didn't complete the story yet, and the netcode along with the roster. I've been having fun with it, even though some of the characters are hard to learn. Like for example, Baiken. She is still hard to learn.
She's fucking hard as balls. Hardest
Man.
character to learn.
I picked Raven because so far he was the easiest, in my opinion, like to learn when it comes to that game. Like you can corner people, especially people fell for them almost every time. It's ridiculous.
Right. Shout out to Moo because he actually likes Blaze Blue. I don't. Shout out to that guy.
In my opinion, I always, like, real quick, I always heard that Guilty Gear was a lot more hype. I always wanted to play it. Yeah.
We're gonna move on a little bit. I want to talk about what do you guys that played this video game think of Gundam Versus?
Woo!
I have no comment.
Me
I
either.
don't either.
I have.
Go ahead.
So first of all, I've been playing these Gundam versus type games for a long time. I had Gundam Next Plus on the PSP. I had Extreme versus Full Boost on the PS3. I was amazed that this game is even in the United States, especially in the condition it's in. Very little content has been removed or altered. Just I'm shocked that this game is in the condition that it's in without having elements stripped out of it. Like the music, for instance, there are so many vocal themes in that soundtrack list. And usually vocal themes were just a flat out no-no for domestic releases.
Mm-hmm.
So from the presentation side, it's just absolutely mind-boggling. Oh, and the gameplay's really good, I guess.
Okay. Kaneki?
All I know is that netcode is excellent. Like I was in the lobby and my partner had one bar because usually when this game was around in July, it usually dips the netcode, meaning it would go bad, it would stutter. But recently, I don't know what they did, but apparently, if the guy had one bar and he's like your teammate, apparently there's no issue, there's no lag, stutter, or input delay at all. So I'm guessing they must have tweaked the netcode a bit or fixed it to a certain extent, which I'm glad because now if anyone had one bar, I'm pretty sure you'll probably have no problem.
The beta I played a month ago, I know there were randoms that I was paired with that didn't have great connections, and those matches were unplayable to the point of being single frame So I'm very glad that they improved upon the stability of an online match in that game.
Hmm.
I was surprised too.
Okay.
Anyone here hyped for the new Naruto fighter? I'm not.
Nope.
I'm not interested in Naruto fighters, to be honest.
I am not. I am not a fan of that Vietnamese cartoon.
Yep.
Damn.
Same.
I could not play those Ultimate Ninja games to save my life.
Nope. Sorry, guy. Sorry, Andre. We don't like Naruto like that.
Yeah.
Boruto
Sorry,
sucks, too.
sorry, CC2. You make better action games than you do fighting games.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Naruto sucks. Let's talk about MVCI, the game that a lot of us, not a lot of us, I feel like most of us have been playing.
The game that failed at sales.
Yeah, apparently it's doing really
Japan.
bad.
It's ass.
Over 8,000 copies. Couldn't even reach 10,000.
Ooh.
Put in perspective
Mhm.
the underachievement of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Street Fighter Cross Tekken had better sales than this game.
Yeah, and that game went in with
I
You
like
remember Street
I-
Fighter Cross
I
Tekken?
kind of like that
No.
game, to be honest.
I
like
didn't.
That's what introduced me to Tekken.
I
Not even lying.
I understand people liked it, but I think at that point people caught on to Capcom's bullcrap, so that's why it got a little bit of flack at launch.
The
Oh,
on
yeah.
this DLC is what killed the
Mhm.
Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Cross.
people knew by that point.
That and
that's
it being just like
There
jab fire.
there were many things that killed Street Fighter Cross Tekken, 30, 60, 90, the gem system.
Gem system, yeah, I remember now.
Mhm.
Bad box art Mega Man.
Oh no, that nightmare, dude.
Why?
Forcing tournaments to be doubles pretty much exclusively for the first year kind of killed it
the
too.
first year at EVO was a disaster.
I
that
must have
game?
missed that. What was that? 2012? No.
Yeah, that was 2012.
Wait, with
Yeah.
that game? I never seen that.
Well, I have to do some research then, because that sounds like a fantastic train wreck.
Oh, it was.
Sums up Street Fighter Cross Tekken pretty well.
Top
Fantastic.
8
train
was
wreck.
filled with a second player that didn't even get to play.
I'm like, hey Capcom, the Vita version, you give me like free DLC for both that and the PS3 version. So I thank you for that. I didn't pay for your on this bullshit.
Well-
Originally, those characters were going to be released at the same time as the Vita version, but I suppose all the bad PR sort of forced Capcom's hand, and they had to release all those characters a little earlier than intended.
Hmm.
The only thing I remember is that Cole McGrath was a guest character. That was it.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
That happened.
Oh, that was the
Yeah.
weirdest shit ever. And those
What a joke.
the PlayStation cat things.
Oh, the cats, especially the Infinite with fucking. I think
Oh,
Kuro
Kuro.
was the Kazuya ripoff.
Oh my god, how does that work?
And Cold was there.
Yep.
How does that work? Wow.
All right, first of all, that Mega Man is the real Mega Man. You guys can go eat a dick.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's the closest
Bro.
you get to a Mega Man game, you fuckers.
It's a funny
No.
troll at least.
It
for sure.
wouldn't have been
no,
as
we
bad.
have Mighty Number 9. Come on.
Better than nothing.
Like Street Fighter Cross Tekken's Mega Man would not have been as ill received if it hadn't been for Mega Man's decline.
Yeah.
I
That
think
was
it
just really bad timing.
yeah, because that was the point where they started dicking people over with Legends, I think.
Like that's when Inafune left Capcom around that time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or at least he was on the way out.
I think the main question was like, where's Tekken X Street Fighter?
Yeah, it was.
Because that was supposed to be a thing.
Dead in the
Tekken
ground.
7 took priority. Like
Hopefully
getting
they-
that in the arcade, getting that to console, and Harada said Tekken Cross Street Fighter development would start after Tekken 7 was complete.
Hopefully that goes into fruition because they did a good job with Akuma in Tekken 7.
We need more Street Fighter games, anyways.
Yeah,
Which
the ones with
reminds me-
arcade modes.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, I could not be more excited for them adding Geese Howard into that game.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Unthinkable character.
No, it's
Hype.
predictable that they did it.
Predictable. You have to use English.
Unpredictable.
When is he coming out again?
In winter. They didn't say when in winter, but it's in the winter.
Sometime December then.
That's what I'm
Alright.
probably thinking.
It's so far away.
But yeah, other than the sales of MVCI, what do you guys think of the game in general?
I haven't played it, but it looks like garbage. I'm sorry.
It's
Okay.
underwhelming other than the gameplay. The gameplay is good. That's about it.
I'm
Okay.
not spending $60 on that. Like I said in the chat that no one else can see but us, I would play as like 4 characters. Ghost Rider, Ryu, I think Zero, and Spider-Man. That's it.
I was absolutely turned off by this game simply by the story demo. It felt incredibly loose. You couldn't really get anything done without doing moves you didn't intend to do, and like all of these easy shortcut parameters, like 2-button supers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a mess for you just trying to learn the game. Like, I don't give a shit about your story right now. I just want to learn the game. Let me
And,
play your story when the game's actually released.
Right.
Another nitpick from me. I said this on the last episode of this podcast, but I hate Ghost Rider's voice. I hate it. It's so bad.
The voice acting is so frustrating not to notice. Many voice actors unable to reprise, and their replacements simply just not living up to the predecessor.
You know, fun story here. I think Ruben Langdon, who does Dante's voice, I think he called Capcom out. Like he said, you know, the material they had to work with wasn't really that good. So he called them out on Facebook, I believe. You can go like dig it up somewhere, but there's screencasts of him explaining to the fans how Capcom fucked up so bad on the script.
He said he did the best with what he could, basically.
Yeah.
And I think the mechanics in MVCI are fine, but it's like hard to look past like the everything else, you know? Something gets not.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say something gets not talked about as much as anything is like no one really talks about how crappy the music is in comparison to like 3 and stuff. Like,
Just listen to Dante's theme. It's so bad. It's like, what did they do to it?
Oh,
Listen
Ghost
to
Rider's
any of
theme is
them.
bad too.
I haven't listened to the whole soundtrack, but if that's enough indication, then something tells me that their arranged tracks are like garbage.
It's
all of them.
just not that memorable.
Mm.
I can remember Ghost Rider's MVC theme, like and I
Just
just
like-
for the life of me remember his in Infinite. I listened to it like twice, and I was like, this sucks.
I
It's
figured.
like imagine if everybody had a theme as bad as Jury and Street Fighter V, and you get
Actually, I haven't heard
the general Jury's theme.
I'm going to look it up.
It's terrible. Her Street Fighter 4 theme is much better, but that's just general when it comes to Street Fighter. But like the music in that game is just like the kind of generic shit you would hear in like a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
That's kind of the thing when it comes to this game. You look back at Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with the presentation of that game, and the characters looking like they just leapt out of a comic book because that was the style at the time. You felt like you were playing a game based off a Marvel vs. Capcom comic. And you
Right.
look at Infinite with their orchestrated soundtrack and their choice of characters and the redesigns of their modern redesigns,
Ugh.
and it looks like a Marvel vs. Capcom movie.
Right.
Yeah, they
you were-
kind of dialed it in there.
You were right on that.
It
Jury
really is a
theme.
detriment.
Ooh. Whoa.
Wow.
What was that?
The problem with the Jury theme is it starts out okay and then it just like hits you and it's like, okay, what is this shit?
When is
Turn
this
off.
going to end? Turn it off, please.
The game. Actually, I don't. If it would have been delayed to 2018, Dragon Ball FighterZ would have outsold the game. Anyway.
I
So it won't
think.
make a difference.
I mean,
It's a good
The
point,
ga-
actually.
the game probably would have had more polish and more characters. So
That's
that
about it.
that's about it. But at least it probably wouldn't have been such a mess compared to how it is now.
I will say, I am so happy that X does not sound like a chick.
From what I heard, people said
He
his-
sounds like a wimp instead.
his voice
Well, I mean,
is
like
not as
X4. That
like-
was bad.
X8
That's
was the
together.
best voice, honestly.
You're sadly not getting him back.
Oh yeah, he's a doctor now apparently.
Yep.
Hold on, before we can continue, let me talk about the netcode in this game. Now, when I played the online with Reaperz and some other people from around the world at launch, I thought, hey, netcode is actually pretty good. No lag, no input delay, no stuttering. Day 2 and further, what the fuck just happened, Capcom? Like, I've been getting
Hamster's
stutter.
That's funny because I watched like a Max video and he said that it was good.
That's what I said too.
They are
Until
supposedly using like a rollback similar
that,
to Street Fighter V's Kagemusha netcode.
and that was probably my biggest problem with that game. It's like, okay, so you're using the rollback netcode, and whenever I play online rollback netcode, some of my moves just wouldn't come out. Instead, they would give the opponent more advantage with that rollback. I was like, man, no wonder other fighting games, some of them don't have that. Even Guilty Gear, they don't have that rollback netcode. They use a natural netcode that will not only tell you what input delay your opponent has, but like no moves will be interrupted even if the connection is bad.
Right.
And and the rank matching. I was getting matches until recently. I couldn't find much people on ranked. Even for some people on PC, they said if you're like rank 10 or further, they having harder times finding matches, and that's why recently there's declining of people not playing the game online on PC at least. I don't know about PS4, but
See, on
not.
PC, that would make a little more sense. It seems like the market and the community is mostly going to be playing on PS4.
Yeah, but that's not Tekken 7 did fine on PC. This is still doing great. I'm just surprised this game they could have done so much better with the netcode, and that's what I read on Steam and playing about the netcode mostly instead of the full game.
Marvel vs. Capcom numbers on Steam, less than 1,000 were playing an hour ago.
Yeah, that's bad. You see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, all-time peak was almost 3,600. It was 3,592.
That's why Tekken 7 is the only fighting game on PC that's doing well right now, which is disappointing because I do want the community, not just from PS4, but PC and Xbox, all these numbers, they could make a great community.
And it's real funny because Tekken was a console game first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, technically it was an arcade game, but it was on consoles before PC.
Right.
I think they need to implement more crossplay. Like, them not doing it, the meta of the game is not going to last long online if they don't implement some sort of failsafe with playing with other people on consoles.
I don't know about that.
I mean, they did it with Street Fighter V, so
I think some of you guys know it was an ex-member of ours. His name was Road on Fire. He told me that the reason why most of the net play is bad is because of crossplay, and he feels that crossplay is the reason why netcodes like SF5 have been struggling, because the fact that you need to try to connect to somebody that's playing a different console is the reason that it's fucking up. So he'd prefer it if no fighting game had crossplay, just so you'd have a stable net play. But I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think if the idea is there, and if that is the case, yeah, because I mean, you could do it in KI, and KI barely has like any lag, so it just depends on the developer itself.
But when you consider that games like Guilty Gear and BlazBlue share between the PlayStation consoles with very little downside to this, it doesn't seem like crossplay is that big of a poison to like steady netcode.
Okay.
Yeah, Iron, you're right. Tekken 7's PC netcode is way better than consoles, because that's the only game that did well on PC. Fine game.
I mean, like Injustice 2, it's not on PC, so it's
I don't want them.
No competition.
They're gonna ruin it for the PC. I don't want them to do it.
Oh yeah.
It's WB.
Yeah.
They ruined Mortal Kombat for PC. That was abysmal.
Yeah, they fucked over PC players.
Did they ever get Combat Pack 2 on PC?
They did, and they also got what is it, Mortal Kombat XL, but it was like so late at that point, people just forgot about it.
Yeah. But fuck all that. What about that Monster Hunter waifu? She's I like how she looks. Her gameplay's real good. I don't know if
It's
you guys
not
are
Carnage.
Nah.
You don't like her?
I didn't see her, so I can't comment really.
Now we'll cross-examine. Who do you don't like her, Hades?
No, I was gonna say she looks better than literally everyone else in that game.
That's the funny part.
And I think it's incredibly suspicious that DLC trailer dropped 2 days after the game came out too. So
Well, I mean, that's not an uncommon thing. Injustice 2 did the same thing. Like even before the game came out, like look, Fighter Pack 1.
I do think that was planned out. Yeah, it was planned out, definitely.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think about her gameplay? The people that did see the trailer.
She had like super armor on one of those moves. Like, oh my goodness.
She seems like a mess of a character. So many different weapons and like 4 different supers.
Is that a good mess or a bad mess?
It's a bad mess. There's no real definition. A lot of it just seems to be rapidly swinging things into characters. There's just not a lot of versatility in her moveset.
Right.
Also, this is the nitpickiest of the nitpicks.
Mm-hmm.
She's simply named Monster Hunter. And I kind of understand that. It kind of seems like she's taking up her job as like a superhero would.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So I can kind of understand that, but it really does not help her personality.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't all of the Monster Hunter characters that you play as, like, they don't have a name and you give them your own?
Kinda, yeah. They're just hero.
Or something. Yeah, I mean, it could be like a Monster Hunter does work. It would be weird if it was just Hunter or.
I think it's just weird because it's so general and there's like nothing else to that name. Like maybe I could see if it was a character from the Monster Hunter universe that they could shoehorn that in, but other than that, I do see your point, kind of.
It would be like if you called Dante Demon Hunter.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty weird.
That's
That'd
where
be
I'm
weird.
coming from.
I understand.
Or Ghost Rider Skullman.
But I also understand the Italian Stallion when he says that they never had a name. So if like female Monster Hunter was like what, Felicia, and they just called her Monster Hunter later on, then yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know.
I think it would have been probably a good tie-in if that was an actual character that was in Monster Hunter World where you could run into them and that character would be in MVCI. So that would be pretty cool, actually. Nice cross-promoting there.
Okay. I'm sure you guys have seen the quote-unquote leak DLC concept art, and if you have not, it's in the chat right here.
Oh, Black Widow?
A Black Widow and other characters. Obviously, the people watching the stream, you cannot see this, but I think you could post links on the stream chat. Can you?
Yes, you can.
I will post it in the stream chat. If you want to clicky on that, then you can and watch it with us. What do you guys think about the concept art?
Yeah, this is pretty much the characters I see MCU based at its finest. Doesn't look like anything too appealing. Venom, I don't know. I would have preferred another iteration of him, to be honest, but it's whatever. Yeah.
Like Agent Venom?
Yes. That would have been hype, actually, or Anti-Venom.
Oh, yeah, okay, that would have been cool.
But we just get plain old Venom, so
Or
there you
Toxic.
go. Toxic would have been cool, too.
Or
That
Shriek.
actually brings me to the roster itself of Marvel Infinite.
Fucking sucks.
The Marvel side is easily the most safest, most guaranteed characters you could think of, with the exception of, I'd say, Gamora was a left field choice when Rocket Raccoon basically covers the Guardians of the Galaxy all by himself. I mean, you could have replaced Gamora with Groot. That would have been a great Nemesis companion.
I'm just surprised they actually brought back Ghost Rider. I thought Marvel didn't give a shit about him.
So am I. He sucks. Anyways.
Ghost Rider
Ow.
has been reappearing and stuff recently. They
Good.
added him to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last year. He got a whole arc dedicated to
The
him.
stupid one. The one with the dumb car.
Fuck you. I prefer the car one.
The car.
Uh-oh, someone's in the minority.
Y'all
Nah.
forgot the horse. The master race.
I like Horse Ghost Rider. That
Yeah.
come on, it's
It's
classic.
Ghost Rider, not Ghost Driver. Come on.
You see red nose. The
Ghost
horse.
Driver.
The
I-
horse. That's
I love
You
it.
don't
Like
ride a car.
like
You ride in a car.
You drive the car.
the car
ride
is
a
you.
motorcycle. Get it together.
The car is you. He's Knight Rider.
All right.
I don't see Johnny Blaze's series getting canceled.
Stream chat, type in Ghost Rider car and tell me that ain't badass. If anybody says it's not badass, you're getting timed out immediately.
So you like the bike to piss him off?
Nah, shut up.
Damn, you're from the Western Drive?
No, I'm kidding.
As I was saying, you look at the Marvel side, and they're like the safest roster imaginable, and you look at the Capcom side. These are basically Capcom's version of the Avengers. You look at people like Spencer and Ryu and Arthur, you just picture them, they're like, if Capcom were to make a superhero group, these are the people they would recruit. Guys like Dante, guys like Morrigan.
Arthur.
No, Leon.
Oh, Leon would have been great, actually.
Everybody wants
Fucking thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or Gene from God Hand. Eh?
Yeah, there's just like when you think about the Capcom side, there's a lot more unsafe picks or a lot more people that could have been in the Capcom side they could have used that they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading this thing in the chat. Do you guys actually think that the penance there is ruined? I don't
Yes.
It's certainly much lamer, that's for sure.
It's poo.
Isn't it like he stares into the character's eyes and it's
Stares
just a
at
weird
you, and
animation?
You see the flames flare up in his eyes.
Oh, that's a very lame
it's
animation.
Not as dynamic. I see where people are coming from with that.
Yeah.
To like flash something your character would be guilty about during that scene would be nice, but they opted not to go that route, so.
That'd be interesting.
And to go back
No,
to
you know-
Capcom's picks, I think most of their picks are really strange, like Arthur and Firebrand's, but I think I made peace with the fact that basically those are the characters that wouldn't sell as DLC, so they just put them in the
See,
base game.
The more I think about the Capcom side, the more I think about the fact that we pick these characters for the sake of the story.
Mhm.
Guys like Firebrand and Jetta are easily there to be villains in the Dark World or Dark Dimension, whatever they had like cooked up for that world.
Right. That's an interesting thought. I do think Venom looks cool though. I mean, it's just Venom. I know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a anti-venom skin and shit like that.
That you
I
have to
don't
pay
care
for.
it.
Actually, brief discussion. I know this isn't that type of podcast, but I feel the story could have been a lot better. You're basically thrown into this this merged universe 3 months into its inception, and you don't get an origin story until about 3/4 of the way through. I would have liked to have seen more developments in how the worlds are even merged together at all. It's just a wasted opportunity.
First of all, this is the reason the podcast was made. You can talk about this shit because we need things to talk about to waste time, and two, it's a good topic to talk about. I think Hades has a good point about the story as well. We kind of talked about it. What did you think about it? Mm-hmm.
I mean, the story is just crossover schlock, so it was exactly what I was expecting. I do feel like there is supplementary material like missing somewhere. Like there's supposed to be a comic I'm supposed to read since we do start 80 days into the convergence, and I would like to know how stuff like Umbrella came about.
As a matter of fact, there are comic books that are MVCI comic books. Probably would flesh more light into it.
The only thing related to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and comics is that a lot of comic books did variant covers containing Marvel and Capcom characters for like a cover of a particular comic book series. That's about it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know
That's
that.
how
I thought
Ghost
it was an
Rider
actual
got
book.
revealed.
Yep.
It was a
Okay.
cool looking cover. I mean, I think it was him and Morgan.
Now, for the people that did beat the game, I'm just gonna say there is kind of like a cliffhanger. What do you guys think about just like SF5, a second story mode?
It's gonna happen.
I mean, I feel like it is, but what do you guys think? You guys think, yay, good idea, or nay, I don't care?
I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm not against more story, but with how MVCI has been performing, I'd be surprised if it gets more than its first DLC pack, to be honest.
I really do feel like the story is self-contained. It's a one and done. The post-credits scene they had is just that, a post-credits scene.
Because it's Marvel.
I don't know. I
They
feel like it's one of
Badly did
those.
that.
I feel like it's one of those. Oh, the MVCI characters will return type fucking post credit shit, and it's shit like that, and they're gonna flesh out the thing with Thanos and shit.
Oh yeah, they forgot about Power Stones. The fuck?
Yeah, Power Stones. Power Stones. All right. I want everybody that has actually played the game to tell me what your favorite Power Stone is. Mine
Time
is
Stone.
Soulstone.
Time
Time
Soulstone,
Stone,
bitch.
100%. Oh my
Soulstone,
god.
motherfucker.
I'm stoned. No.
Oh my god. If you play Ghost Rider and Time Stone, here's a hint. Match triangle.
Right,
No.
got it. When they
No, don't
release
do it.
Gene, I'll buy the game.
Don't do it.
The
Be a
most
good
fun I've
gamer.
had in that game with Time Stone is just like doing like 50 pipes in a row with Hagar. I actually had a lot of fun doing that.
Mind
So
Stone,
stupid.
Best Stone.
No.
Like
Reality
I
is
run,
the best stone, I think.
I run Nemesis and Time Stone. You don't know what the satisfaction of Time Stone dashing behind your opponent and level 3ing their life away.
Damn.
Yeah, I've
It's such
experienced.
a good feeling of landing that perfectly.
I've experienced that actually.
Yeah, I bet you
I
have.
haven't.
Yeah, shut up. What about the Reality Stone? I heard there's a lot of BS going on with that stone. That
So the thing with Reality Stone is it's
Mhm.
very similar to how it was in Marvel Superheroes, where once it is active and you press an attack button, that particular attack button is mapped to an additional attack. Lightning will strike from the ground. There will be like a field of ice summoned below the ground. There will be a forward blast that covers a huge amount of horizontal real estate, and it's kind of exacerbating the lockdown potential of this game because it's a huge part of Marvel vs. Capcom meta right now, just locking people down, making shit as safe as possible, and Reality Stone kind of helps you do that, especially the Reality Storm. But mostly just Reality Stone by itself is a nice little projectile really good for Oki especially.
Do you think it's oh, go ahead, finish.
No, go ahead, ask your question.
I was gonna say, do you think it's broken, as people are saying?
I don't think it's broken. I think it is strong, and I feel like we're going to see characters be able to combat it once we're able to figure out the characters and see who can not fight it, but more resist it.
Right.
Question: what color is the Reality Stone? Is that the purple one?
It's the red one.
Oh, okay.
Purple is
Oh,
power.
the purple is the power one. My bad.
Speaking of Reality Stones, have you all seen the infinite combos for Spider-Man with that thing?
Yep.
I have heard about them.
I've seen videos of them.
Because apparently it even takes longer before you can KO someone with the infinite combo, but I hear you could still do it regardless.
It's a true
That makes
infinite.
sense.
You can't
Yeah.
escape it at all.
Nope.
Can't escape.
Not even like active switching?
Can't
Nope.
active switch during.
Damn.
It's true infinite, and people
Oh
are
my
finding ways to
God.
set it up with literally every
Let's see.
character
I
in the
just
cast in
googled
Spider-Man.
it, and let's see here.
And the overhead glitch needs to be fixed too. Because
There you go, chat.
a lot.
That's
Watch it with us.
So for those of you who don't know, the way Dante is right now,
Oh
he
yeah.
has a point where he can hit you with a crouching light, and he can cancel that into Stinger. That is considered an overhead.
That's why I
So
lost
while you're blocking low, you get blown up by the Stinger.
That's why I lost to some of the Dante players online, because you could do that bullshit and get away with it.
I believe you can change Chun-Li's lightning legs into an overhead if you active switch during it too, which is really, really weird.
The Thunder Thick chick.
Yeah, who else?
Oh snap!
Just such a strange bug, you know.
That's like the easiest infinite combo I've ever seen. I could do that.
It's 3 buttons.
That's busted.
Who do you guys think is top tier so far?
Dormammu and Ultron.
Yeah,
Dante?
No competition.
Dante?
Ultron.
Actually, yeah, Dante has been popping up a lot because the
Mm-hmm.
recent tournament in Milan had half of top 8 was Dante players,
Damn.
or at least
Okay.
had a Dante in their team.
Right.
I can tell you the according to Event Hub's #1 is Dormammu.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I can see
Dormammu with
that.
his like bed of thorn shit is
Yeah.
really, really annoying and
Yeah.
frustrating.
#2 is Shazam. I mean Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, really?
Yeah, #3 is Mega Man.
Hmm, interesting.
#4 is Zero.
Okay.
Okay.
And
That's
#5 is Spidey.
Yeah. Spidey
Dante
made it
is-
because of the Infinite.
Dante is #8.
Really?
Not too bad. At least he's in top 10.
The homie Ghost Rider's #24.
Like
It's bullshit.
that particular list is incomplete, first of all, and second of all, it is not taking Ultron into account. Ultron is a freak.
Ultron
I
is
figured as
12.
much. Yeah, because Ultron looks really good.
Yep.
Mm.
Chris
The
is
wor-
shit, I can tell
the
you that
wor-
much.
Yeah, Chris is
Jesus.
26.
Jesus.
Chris is absolute garbage tier and actually makes me sad.
The worst character, according to this, is Hulk.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Then
Wow.
Captain America, then Haggard.
I will say one of the worst characters, as far as I'm concerned right now, Ryu. No surprise.
Really?
Yeah, he's #20.
Yeah, Ryu sucks.
I heard you can do like overhead into like his level 3 and just kill everybody.
Luckily, his overhead takes a year to be active.
Yeah. I think
Ah,
you need
good.
like time stone to make it like work.
Yeah.
I forgot Nova was in the game.
Yeah, he is.
Real quick, where's Strider and where's Gamora for me?
Strider is. I just had him. What the fuck?
Gamora,
Where'd it go?
Gamora, in my
15.
opinion, the way she is now is probably in the top 10. She
Nope.
is so incredibly quick.
Really?
Strider's 15. Gamora's 17.
Like
this is Event Hubs.
Strider has Ouroboros back at 1 bar. You don't have to use 3 bar anymore.
I mean,
It's
this
the
is
trade-off.
Event Hubs, so
Like
it's not.
the trade-off is Strider's Ouroboros is not active as long as it normally would be, but still, you have all the time in the world to set up whatever you need.
All right.
Gamora's kind of the same way. She sort of has that Zero-esque after image following her, but she's incredibly dangerous. She can cross you up without even knowing it. Being in
love
the
her.
corner against a Gamora player is just a bad time.
Love her.
Uh-oh.
All right, what's everybody's main? I saw somebody ask a question really early on. Who's everybody's main?
So my team right now is incredibly tentative, but it is
Mhm.
Nemesis and Ghost Rider with Time Stone.
Yay! Ghost Rider.
Just
Fuck that.
because Nemesis really benefits from Time Stone as far as maneuverability goes, he needs all the help he can get in that respect.
Hmm.
And like I said, with Ghost Rider running Time Storm, you basically have a horizontal zone of nope. If somebody fucks up in that area, they're eating like 18 chains.
Good lord.
Eat chain.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen
Oh wait,
that.
no, this is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, so it sounds like this. Eat chain.
Yeah, something like that. Mine is Strider Gamora. I feel like they're really quick. They're really fun to play and do combos with. It's just really fun to play as those two dudes and using Soul Stone. If you pop it and you bring your character back to life and it's just both of y'all, I mean, you can pretty much just fuck somebody over if they don't know how to block good. What about you, Kaneki?
Between my mains is between Dante and what is it? And between Ultron and Thanos, like the team with Dante.
Oh, Thanos is good too.
Oh yeah, Thanos is really fun to play.
Mhm.
Oh, where's
Mhm.
he?
He's really good with combos, especially
The
even with
thing
Dante.
is, with Thanos, it really doesn't feel like you need his beam super. If you're going to use meter on anything, that air super is the way to go. That damage is
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah.
21. He's 21
21.
on the tier list here.
Gotcha. He's really good. He has a lot of armor and shit and some moves. Let's move this on to the next thing. I don't know if you guys seen the X-Kira stuff that they found for SF5, which is basically the stuff about the arcade mode and how they're gonna have like different sections for like what characters are from which game, like SF2, third strike, final boss, and then like secret final boss. They're gonna have a
See,
bunch of shit. Go ahead.
see, that layout actually has me interested. It really feels like you can choose the length of your arcade run, like Mortal Kombat 3. The way it's set up, where you have characters from 2 and Alpha in their own category, characters from like 3 and to a lesser extent, characters from 4 in their own categories.
hmm
Just the way it's set up, it feels like you can choose how many opponents you have in your arcade run. I'm really hoping that's not the way it looks and you have to fight everyone on there, because that's going to be an incredibly slothy slog getting through
I
that
agree.
arcade mode.
I agree.
Especially with the fact you have to fight the 4 kings somewhere in there. And
mhm.
then through all that, there's a super boss waiting for you, probably some type of Shin Akuma or Shin Nekali, I believe.
Or Dan Hibiki.
No,
Damn it.
no.
Damn it.
But it is absolutely better late than never, especially because they are putting Street Fighter V in arcades at some point.
All right. Final boss. Who would you like to be the secret boss? I mean, would you rather it be Shin Akuma, Shin Akali, or would
No.
you rather it be my pick, Gil?
No.
Fuck Gil.
No.
Exactly.
Okay.
At
Fuck
this
Gil.
point,
Antihero knows what's up.
you might as well make Gil the final boss.
Oh my gosh, he's the most annoying shit with that resurrection tactic.
But he has blonde hair.
I don't care, kill him.
And that blonde hair is crazy. Somebody took the Gil costume and implanted it over Urian. The hair covers up his entire face.
He looks cool.
It's so funny.
He's cool. I think that these changes are going to be positive for the game for season 2. Unfortunately, we played Try Not to Reach in the last episode, where I basically went around and said, hey, asked people, what would they do to Street Fighter to change it on season 2. And I basically played as the audience, and I was basically like, oh, the audience is going to say, well, it's too late. I'm not going to buy your game because, you changed it now and stuff like that. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe people will pick it up again or, start buying it more. Or people will just be like, oh, well, it's too late. I'm not going to play this game.
I think we're leaning on too late. I don't think it's going to be very significant once it starts to have more stuff and more features. I think people might get into it if they wanted a more complete version, but that's about it.
Mhm.
Yeah. They're going to start having some serious competition next year.
Oh yes, because Dragon Ball Fighters is coming out, and a lot of people are really, really loving the beta. So I think people are gonna pick that game up first overall. It just depends on when, and I think if they cross that threshold, it's gonna be too little, too late.
The Dragon Ball Fighter Z game comes out in February.
Oh well, yeah. So they have to put these changes in by like January or something. And by then, the new beta comes out for the open beta for Dragon Ball Fighters.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna announce it on. They're gonna announce season 3
Yeah.
on PSX.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. Either then or Capcom Cup. Or no, Akuma was revealed a few weeks before PSX, so, like, anything can happen.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to season 3 because I know I'm gonna get all the characters I wanted, like Sagat.
Sagat.
Yeah.
Sagat rocks, boy.
Get out of here with that tiger knee.
I know it's
Actually,
not Adon, but come on. Mhm.
actually,
Tiger
Reaperz,
uppercut.
I would like your opinion on what you thought of the season 2 characters.
My opinion.
Yes.
Okay. Going down the list, I thought Akuma was okay. Who's the second one? Is it Ed?
It was Colleen.
Colleen is whatever. I feel like her parry moves are really strong, really good. People really like using her now. I believe after that is Ed, correct?
Yes.
Ed, I love his music. His theme music is real good. I cannot play as him to save my life, but seeing the stuff that my friend Roads on Fire does with them, he's really strong looking character. Even though people when it comes to new characters in Street Fighter, like to complain and say this character is shit until like later on they start learning shit. Abigail is a weird looking character, but he's really fun to play. If you start to learn his shit, he can be really dangerous with his armor and his really hard hitting moves. Menat is a very appealing looking character design wise. Her walk animations and all the shit they gave her was real cool. Really technical. I do not know how to play as her to save my life. I know I have people ask me constantly to make a stream playing as her. Yeah, but
Oh boy.
but
Where do I sign up to watch that?
no, shut up.
So as far as the season 2 characters go, I believe the Capcom had good intentions with trying to add new characters to this, especially in terms of giving characters that may have been like cameos or background characters, giving them new life. I
Yeah.
know for a fact that Colleen being playable really helped her in the long run. She's probably the only character I've consistently played out of the season 2 cast. As much as a Final Fight nut I am, I'm really happy to see Abigail. I'm not happy to see with what they did to him in Street Fighter V, making him this retard with tires on his shoulders, and he's just a big, dumb monster truck nut.
I feel like all the Mad Gear characters are kind of dumb. Hugo's kind of stupid too.
But you can at least recognize them compared to how they are in Final Fight. Abigail barely looks anything like he did before. He is supposed to be he's like an XP for like the Legion of Doom in terms of the face mask and so forth.
They made him sound retarded too.
Oh god.
He was like.
Oh, did you know that they're gonna be like there's gonna be an Abigail like mini game for arcade mode?
What? Why? That's so weird. That's the weirdest choice I can. Like, why?
If you look at the Akira video, there's like a broom mini game.
Yeah.
Oh
you're gonna
my
beat up
God.
the monster truck.
Yeah,
It's like so weird.
I just feel like I like watching people play as Abigail because it's just real bullshit when you get shit to work and people just die instantly.
I mean, people have this affinity for big characters, but
Hugo,
like Hugo and stuff like that. But it's just Abigail just doesn't look as appealing in that same retrospect. Like I think if they would have scaled back his look just a little bit, it would have been a lot more better. Like in terms of a good character design, people just saw that and they were like, "What the fuck is this giant character like taking up half the screen?"
Give us
Abigail
Q,
just
yes.
stands out in the worst way due to his size and look.
I would have switched out Abby for Hugo any day, to be honest.
I would have switched out Abigail for Sodom.
No, fuck Sodom. Who likes Sodom in our group? I think it was Hades.
It's
Yeah,
like
sure.
Sodom needs at least one game. He's the only alpha character that hasn't appeared outside of
He
alpha.
has one game. Alpha's his one game. Get out of here.
He needs more
Sodom
than
needs
one.
love.
No.
We need Q back.
You need to end the joke.
Dude, I
Everyone
would.
is saying, I'm hearing not Dan Hibiki. What's wrong with you people?
Dan's a joke character.
I know.
Dan.
That's why it'll be funny.
Dan's trapped in Pandora.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it like this: for Dan, it was hilarious if you won a match because you won a match with a joke character. So if someone can beat Dan, it was so funny if you got a win.
Yo, I beat someone with Dan's super combo in Street Fighter 4. It was so good.
I'm looking forward to Oro, Sagat, and I guess Sakura in
That's
season 3.
that's the weird thing. Like, there's. Go ahead.
The season 3 characters are going to be the most interesting. You know they're not going to play anything like they did in their previous entries. They're going to be reinvented, and V-Trigger is going to add to their versatility. I'm really interested in the reinterpretations.
2 V-Triggers, because everybody apparently, according to X-Curie, found people had 2 V-Triggers and 2 critical
2
ones.
V-Triggers and 2 supers. So we're getting Super Street Fighter 5.
Yep.
It's kind of like Third Strike, I think, where you can pick, or like V-isms and shit.
I still think that despite it sounding like Super Street Fighter V, they're probably still gonna give it as a free update. I mean, they have to at this point.
They have too. I don't know who would pay for an update at this
I
point.
think it is.
Especially if they're trying to selling it to me as like $25. Like
I mean,
no.
it is Capcom, so you know how they like to charge for shit. So, but they did say, we're not gonna charge like for super versions of the game. So it's like they have to, otherwise people are gonna make videos on it and say they kind of lied to the audience.
I feel like
The only way you will get me to pay for a super update is if that particular disc comes with every piece of content
I'll be
released
right
so
back.
far.
yeah.
You go full on Game of the Year edition with that.
Yeah, you have to put in the season passes too. I mean, there's no contest.
It would make fight money utterly pointless, but that way you wouldn't have to like pay absurd amounts of both in-game and real-life money to just have everything. There are
Right.
stages that I haven't even bothered to unlock because I just can't spare the fight money. I'm saving them for characters.
Yep.
Right.
That's what I did. I bought like some stuff for Ken, and I bought like a character, and that was it.
It's pretty much the biggest problem I have with Street Fighter V. I don't think it's a bad game by any extension. I do, however, think that it's an expensive game if you want to have everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's worse than just being a bad fighting game.
I don't think they're gonna make you buy another disc. I feel like they're gonna give you the free update, but I do think they're gonna make you buy a season pass to get the characters for that update.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I see that happening.
It just reminds me of Ultra and a little bit of a mix of UMVC3, where it's like, Jill and fucking Shuma, those characters were like, you still had to buy them even though you got that version.
I think people are sleeping on the bargain of the character pass. It's like $30 for 6 characters, and you get an extra costume along with them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of why I got the Ultimate Edition for Injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say just wait.
It's gonna be.
I love DC Comics, so I was gonna do it anyway.
Speaking of DC,
Okay.
Speaking of DC, NetherRealm, or matter of fact, both NetherRealm and Warner Brothers.
Oh, I know what this is about.
All right.
What is up with taking away our armors?
Yeah, that was.
What's up with that?
That was a little scary. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Did Mixus Pitlick get his hands on the gear or something? It just randomly disappeared.
Yeah, the gears are like gone.
I mean, I was reading Reddit one day, and then like all gear, like I don't have my gear, and I'm like, oh crap. So I signed on. I didn't have my gear, so I'm like, all right, let me just buy a mother box and see what happens. All my gear's back.
That sounds like a bug, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think the new patch now, 1.11 or something, it fixed it all. Plus, that other patch, Xbox got Raiden really early.
Wow.
So.
Fuck Raiden. Oh my god.
Also,
just mad that it ain't Noob Saibot or something.
Well, we get Black Lightning, so if you want that premier skin, then I guess you could pretend. I guess you could pretend it's not Raiden.
I'm very happy that Raiden is the character simply because...
Yay, I have a friend!
The sooner I can change his awful, awful look in Injustice 2.
Oh, yes, it's poo.
Fuck you. Just give me Static Shock.
Also, I want to...
Static Shock is the show. Come on.
Someone said fuck Injustice 2. I agree.
Well, I want to divert because someone quickly said were there going to be more characters in UMVC3 instead of Jill and Shuma, and I think they had that poll, remember, not too long ago, where Capcom was like, yeah, maybe we'll get X in the game and shit like that, but it never fell through. Instead, they decided to put in X as Zero's costume and say, well, here's Mega Man. So I remember that bullshit happened. So the extra characters just turned out to be like skins or colors, and it was kind of lame.
There's some Raiden gear, by the way.
All right, take it off. Delete
I
it.
think there was an interview a few months ago with Ryota Mitsuma, who's just the interviewer went down a laundry list of characters that they either didn't have time to develop. I know that Dr. Octopus was supposed to be in...
So was Gene.
Oh, that would have been
Capcom 3.
That would have been cool. Wow.
It was Dr. Octopus and Frank West were supposed to be in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, then they got cut.
Frank was added to Ultimate, and Dr. Octopus was just removed outright.
I believe Gene was also one of those characters that they didn't have time for.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, man. I don't know what happened there.
Love God Hands.
But the interview boiled down to, we either don't have time to develop this character, or this character's potential moveset conflicts with the previously existing character.
Right. Interesting. Very interesting. I think I'm all out of news, unless people have some that I missed.
Raiden.
Sucks.
It's going to be cool.
That super, though.
Thank you.
Electric Dragon
No.
was so fucking cool when it was revealed.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Stay mad.
Oh, and
It's in the game,
oh,
and you can't do shit about it.
Raiden got the Space Stone because one of his, and I'm sure it's a gear move, one of his moves is that he can trap you in this little box of like 3 electric volts.
You know,
I can tell you some of his gear moves because I watched the stream. His base move set is, you got the teleport, you got the vicinity blast, you got the Superman, you got the Thunderball thing.
Yeah.
His trait is what it turns into. Remember Thunder God from MKX?
Ah, you can place down the bolts.
No, that's a gear move.
Oh.
The static trap, that's a gear move. But like how you hold the button and he kind of like shocks him a little bit. That's trait, and it like enhances some of the special moves too.
Yeah,
air teleport's a special move, gear move.
Like I said in the last podcast, like I don't have a problem with Raiden being in the game.
I do.
But the problem is, like, he's a Mortal Kombat character, so I didn't want to see an upsurge of Mortal Kombat characters in Injustice, because I can think of like 50 different comic book superheroes on DC side that could take that slot.
Yeah, that just do electric. I can think of like 3 right now.
Yeah. So there's like plenty of people out there that could be put in the comics that are not in Injustice 2 that can go in the story.
Yeah, here's the thing. I wanted Raiden over Sub-Zero. I do not like Sub-Zero.
That's dumb.
I hate Sub-Zero. He's
dumb.
a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
He sucks. Ooh, look at me and my cool ice powers. Wow. No
one wanted MK characters in this movie.
Okay.
I didn't want any of them. But, I mean, I got Raiden, so I'm like, all right, cool.
I mean, Mortal Kombat characters are the highest selling of the DLC, but nobody wants them.
No,
I know, right?
Like, I'll put it like this: Black Manta, he looks pretty dope. I will say that. Like,
Better than Raiden.
I am glad that Black Manta is in this game, and I do want to see the other characters as well. But yeah, my main issue is just people that spam a lot in Injustice, like Red Hood. I like Red Hood, but stuff like that is bad gameplay.
Okay, I'm definitely in the minority here.
That they normalized Trident Rush was the best day.
Fucking hate Red Hood. Oh my god, just edge. The worst written character in that game. Every intro is this. Bang, 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 look at my guns. I'm so cool. No, you're not. Fuck you, I am. There you go. That's every intro.
Reaperz, I want you to look at the chat.
I don't want to. Oh, I see it. Oh, I thought I said Reaperz was awesome. Fuck. Yeah.
Nah.
Anyways, there is no stream chat. They're dead to me. What's going on?
All right, everybody roast this man.
Nobody roast me, or else you get time.
What an abuse of power.
Keep him like fun. I think we're not done, but stream chat. Give us some questions while we talk about bullshit.
So, as far as Raiden is concerned,
yeah.
I remember reading a theory of where back when Raiden was a silhouette, and people had a really good one, and I wish that they would have pulled it off, where they said that's not Raiden, that's Clayface.
Clayface. Okay.
That would have been cool. That would have been fun.
Or Plastic Man. I would have lost my shit if it was Plastic Man.
I thought it was Clayface too because there was one model that was like just super fucking huge, and I thought for a second that can only be Clayface because of the way he was sized. But the guy in the hat, I always figured since they did the I think they put it in Photoshop or something, and they lighted up a little bit, and then they showed the background characters. I think that's when I saw that afterwards, and I was like, oh yeah, that is Raiden, no doubt.
When I saw the Raiden silhouette, I thought there is no way that's Raiden. It's too obvious. It's a red herring. It's a troll. They're totally gonna have him morph into something else. It feels too obvious.
It would have been hilarious if it was just static and he took off the hat.
Hold on a second. We kind of already talked about Gundam Versus, but not much because not many people here, besides myself, played Gundam Versus.
I didn't play it.
I had like an hour of it, but I played the shit out of the beta. I pre-ordered it because of the beta. But as far as mobile suits I've been messing around with, I've been messing around with Tall Geese. Just because its mobility is really fun. And the way I play Gundam Versus is I tend to go with the shooter types. Like, give me guns, give me gigantic screen-filling beams, give me stun blasts, give me all that.
Yeah.
So think like the Vigna Gina from F91, where you can choose the direction in which it rolls when it's doing its maneuvering shots. I need that shit in my life.
It's not like I don't want to play Gundam Versus. It's just that I think I missed out on the beta, and when it was coming out, like a lot of people were saying it's hype. So I'm like, you know what? I'll buy this game for Christmas. But right now I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna kind of save my money and get like other games for Christmas. But I will get that and Dragon Ball FighterZ Day 1.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna get Dragon Ball FighterZ definitely Day 1.
My one
We got
big
pre-order
complaint,
digitally.
my one big complaint about Gundam Versus is where are the G Gundam units?
Yeah, dude, that
Not
baffles me.
Even one? Are you fucking kidding me?
DLC.
But what about Big Zam?
DLC.
Oh.
It's not even playable.
If Bandai knows they're gonna do a DLC, that's what they said. I think they said before, if they want to continue like support the game and all that, you got to buy their DLC.
Oh, they're gonna support the shit out of this game. There's gonna be like, when you compare Full Boost to when it first came out to when development was completed, there was like a third of the cast was DLC just about.
Okay.
So you're getting support.
Not to mention, there's already like tournaments and stuff like that for this game.
And there was a little piece of news as to what we can expect from the DLC. Thank you, US version. Buster Gundam from Gundam Seed and the Alvaron from Gundam 00 were revealed as DLC. Japan doesn't even have those mobile suits yet.
Wow, that's really cool.
All right.
Hey man, I'm waiting for God Gundam. That's gonna be the best DLC.
Yeah.
If it's gonna happen.
Like once all the G Gundam stuff gets up there, like Noble Gundam, Gundam Maxter, Bolt Gundam with the huge fucking ball and chain, Rose Gundam, that's when the game's gonna get really
Gundam?
fun.
I got two questions that the stream chat asked us. One of which I feel like one of most of us answered them yesterday, but we'll answer it again. It is, what was your first fighting game that got you into the genre?
Mortal Kombat 1. I think that was on the last podcast, actually.
It was.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
Yeah, for me it was where all us old guys started. Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo.
It was probably, I got introduced with Mortal Kombat 4, but I really started to like them with Mortal Kombat Deception.
For me,
and Shaolin Monks, but mainly Deception.
Yeah, for me, I played Street Fighter 2 in an arcade cabinet in my local laundromat when I used to live in California with my mom.
Like, our mall had a Champion Edition cabinet, and when I first saw it, it's like, this is nothing like the Super Nintendo game. Everyone's more detailed, and the everything's better. And that's when I discovered what porting was.
Oh, yeah. Well, home consoles were getting big back then.
The second question that people asked was, what would you do to fix Injustice 2, or if they make it an Injustice 3, how would you make it so and how not to mess it up?
No more loot boxes, please.
No
Yeah,
more
that'd be
MK
nice.
characters.
Yes, to fix Injustice 2.
You're
Really?
right, yeah.
I
Like,
love Raiden. I love Raiden, but get him out of there.
Like, honestly, the gear thing needs to die. I would rather have all of this shit be pre-made costumes rather than having to collect it piece by piece.
Yeah, I still don't have all the Green Lantern crests.
When you
Yeah.
compare it to Injustice 1, and you can dress up everyone in their Arkham Asylum looks, their new
Batman
52
Beyond?
looks.
Oh.
You can dress up Green Arrow as the Arrow.
Yeah.
That was that was all of that. I need more of that and less of just.
Although,
you might get Bizarro's arm.
Yeah, it seems too grindy in my opinion.
Well, Bizarro's now a premier skin. It's cool.
It's either grindy or you have to pray that there's a multiverse with your character on it.
You know,
So
it
be
took
sure
me
to read that
forever.
Twitter.
Mhm.
It took me forever to get that stupid Batman Beyond.
Read
movie.
that Twitter when they announced that Catwoman multiverse 24 hours before it's taken away.
No, yeah, you have to get really lucky on those.
All right. But for Injustice 3, I want to be Blackest Night story. Right there. That's it. Bring Necron in, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they need to switch it up a bit with the story because
Get all the Lantern Corps, like Larfleeze and the Saint Walker and whoever the fuck the Indigo one is. I think it's Indigo 1, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Otherverse stories are getting kind of old for Injustice, so they need to really mix and match it up here.
Mhm.
Well, Otherverse is kind of the name of the game. The reason Injustice exists is because it's an Otherverse.
I feel though that for them trying to explore like what they did in Earth 3 or what they did in the what is it, Insurgency realm, I think that's kind of done now.
Yeah.
So it's like it does make you think like what's next, and I think they either have to do something way different or they have to explore something else.
It has made me jaded on the idea what if Superman but evil? I feel like that's been done to death at this point.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they go with like Superman's ending for Injustice 3, then that's just almost overkill right there.
I saw it. It's an interesting little concept that like
Ooh, another question.
what will happen to Superman 1, but yeah.
Okay. I think Hades answered in the chat since he's at work. He said lessen chip damage, make clashes are fucking dumb. Make clashes where you can end up in your opponent's face or full screen.
Oh, that'd be nice.
More meter gain on blocking projectiles, less meter gain on hit projectiles, and add Sportsmaster. Duh.
Sportsmaster.
No spam.
Where's
No
the
more-
man?
No
Not
more
going anywhere.
no more fucking gun characters, come on.
Oh my god! When I saw Deadshot, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a fucking
Gunman.
problem. I already know it, and it is. It's still a problem.
Yes, please no more. If you're gonna make gun characters, at least make their loadouts like just significantly different to the point where yes, they can use guns and combos, but
Here's an idea. Give them a fucking ammo count.
yes,
Please.
an ammo count would be good.
Like they have to reload, but then you get like a free hit.
Exactly.
Yeah, they need like to get a hard knockdown to actually reload.
Mm. Something like that. But
Deathstroke was a problem in 1. Injustice 1. Deadshot's a problem now. Striker was an issue in MK9.
Yeah,
Well,
give them.
MK9 was the year of Cabal. That was just
Yeah, he was.
He was really broken.
All right, next question that Andre asked. He said, "What you?" Kind of worded weirdly. What do you do for the next Mortal Kombat game? Who would you take out of 11 or bring back?
Noob Saibot.
Take out or put back?
Bring in.
Bring back.
Okay.
Because he's technically alive.
Yeah.
They didn't confirm if he died when he fell in that Soulnado thing.
Oh, and Smoke. Bring him back.
Take out Jackie Briggs. Fuck that
Please.
character.
Yo, guys, if they're doing the freaking like Dark Raiden storyline, because Shinnok.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically,
we need
all
food.
basically all of Young Justice except Cassie Cage can just fuck
Yeah.
off into the character.
Okay,
abyss.
maybe Takeda. I like Takeda.
I kind of like Takeda too, but story-wise, I didn't. I thought he was
Yeah.
kind of cucked, to be honest.
You want to talk forced romances in your Mortal
Oh,
Kombat?
yeah.
Takeda and Jackie.
That was pretty bad.
Oh yeah, that was bad, dude. That's terrible.
Kung Jin can go fuck off.
Kung Jin was
Kung
just
Jin is miserable to fight against.
annoying. Air dive kick all the time. I just see it coming a mile away.
But we need like
That being said, if Devora is not in Mortal Kombat 11, then MK11 and I can't be friends.
if fucking Fujin is not in MK11, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, he was in the story, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That pissed me off, and I got fucking Leatherface.
Him and
Yeah.
Frost, for that matter. Frost is
Oh, I forgot
trapped
about
in
that.
that story mode.
I don't get why people love Frost so much. He's just female Sub-Zero.
I mean,
Exactly!
that's exactly why. But people love it because she's evil, so that's kind of another
Good point.
reason.
Yeah, Andre,
Nothing
you
else
know
you
what's up.
Hey,
Fujin is
that
the
isn't,
shit.
that isn't a pun regarding that. She's way cooler.
Heh.
Nice
It's
pun.
how she uses her ice that makes her more unique.
I mean,
As long as we don't get Leatherface or fucking Chucky or people like, come on now.
fuck. Oh, I saw this on Twitter. Dead serious. Someone wanted Pennywise in Mortal Kombat 11. No, I don't care if he's a
I would
shapeshifter.
actually
Get
like
that
to
outta
see the
here.
fatalities.
At that point, make a horror fighting game. Why they don't do
Just,
that?
yeah.
I'd play that. Yeah, that's fine. Put him in there. Give him both costumes, Tim Curry and the new guy.
You know what? You know what would be funny? Actually, I thought about this. What if they made like a spin-off DLC that had the same Mortal Kombat gameplay, but they had those horror characters in the mix? Like, make it $15, put those characters in, make a roster, and then see what happens. Same netcode and everything.
I would be fine.
Good.
Yeah, something like Terradrome. That would be pretty awesome.
I would be fine with that. With horror themes and all that, I'm good.
Yeah, you got Pennywise, freaking
I would actually like to
Reanimator.
see more movie monsters than slasher villains.
like the Gillman.
Pumpkinhead.
Wolfman.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love the Wolfman.
Frankenstein.
The Mummy.
Give me the fucking Candyman.
Oh, that's a good one.
Either
Wait a minute.
him or
Are we
Hellraiser.
talking Aqua Candyman or the Monster Candyman?
The monster.
Oh, but that song by Aqua's my jam.
No, get that out of there.
Whoa,
Save that shit
I
for the
am
trailer.
Candyman.
Yes.
All right, I think this is going to be the final stream question. This one's also by Andre. He asked, how would you guys react if Soul Calibur 6 was announced at PSX, along with a remaster of 2 and 3 for the PSN network?
Oh, James would be happy. That's for sure. Shout out to James.
I'd be like, cool. Is Mitsurugi in it? Awesome.
Of course.
I mean, first of all, Soul Calibur 2 is already on PSN.
Okay.
HD, but they need to fix the netcode. Oh wait.
As long as you fix the Chronicles of the Sword bug in Soul Calibur 3, I could deal with that. I'd
I only
rather
played
you
4.
refine the creative soul a little more.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many hours I pissed away on Soul Calibur 4's creative character mode.
Yeah, I had all the Mortal Kombat ninjas. I had Harry Potter. I had
What the fuck?
Voldemort.
My stay in Soul Calibur 6 is determined by how deep your creative character is, or if it even exists at all.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be in there.
Well, my opinion is I'm fine with that. I mean, I wasn't big on Soul Calibur as I was on Tekken, so I kind of don't mind seeing like another Soul Calibur, but my affinity for the series started with Soul Calibur 1 and 2, and that's it.
2 was the best one in my opinion.
I love
need
2.
You really need to start over with the story, though. Soul Calibur 5's was a travesty.
Right.
I can imagine.
Especially losing so many cool characters just for their kid or somebody who fights like them.
That's what James complained about. Actually, he said that the new characters weren't interesting, and they were just given like the older characters' movesets.
Like everyone that wasn't Natsu just felt like, why even bother?
Yeah, I think MK, like, they tried to kind of pull that off as well with MKX, but at least everyone fought differently.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Soul Calibur, that just sounded like it was lazy, to be honest.
Mhm.
You know, I like Yoshimitsu in Soul Calibur more than in Tekken, in my opinion, because
Yes.
He is such a weird
he has
character.
More personality in Soul Calibur.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
does.
I don't
Well,
really
wasn't
care
he
for Soul
in
Calibur.
that series first?
I don't remember because
He
Soul
was-
Edge.
was.
He
Don't
was
he
in
actually-
Tekken first.
yeah, but don't he actually has
internet.
a actual backstory in Soul Calibur?
I think so.
Because in Tekken, I don't see that much other than hang out with was that doctor? Can't.
Dr. B?
Yeah. Tekken, they just tried to make him interesting when Dr. B was supposedly killed by Brian, but that was it. He was just basically going for revenge.
That was it. Other than that, Soul Calibur had the character right with actual backstory, personality. It's really good.
Well, I mean,
Namu.
I still like his design though in some of the Tekken games. I really love that Beetle Skull Yoshimitsu in Tekken 4.
Oh, and he talks in English. Oh man, beautiful, beautiful English.
but he looks like like the Kraken in Tekken 7.
Oh,
I'm
God.
not
Give him
fond-
a
I'm
shirt.
not fond
It's
of-
hilarious.
I'm not fond of Dr. Zoidberg's appearance in Tekken 7.
Dr. Zoidberg.
All right, I did say it was going to be the last one, but we got one more. This question may be over, but the fire still burns. This last question that we're going to be talking about is what would be your dream crossover fighting game and why?
I gotta think about that.
Tekken Cross King of Fighters, because surprisingly they fit Geese well. So, or better yet, no, put Fatal Fury instead. I will be fine with it, because I feel they made Geese fit into the Tekken universe. Why not put the whole? Why not put Fatal Fury in there?
If you give me control of all the IPs and all the libraries, since we just talked about it, Soul Calibur Cross Samurai Showdown.
Oh, that is a nice one. That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go classic, generic here. DC versus Marvel.
Okay.
You know, that's a good one too.
That's
I
still
love
good.
I love comic book characters. I want to be Ghost Rider and whoop Superman's ass.
I agree with that. I want that.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I mean I think Ghost Rider would win that fight anyway.
Better
Whatever
yet,
is there.
Ghost Rider versus Lobo.
Oh,
Tell me
there
that
we-
wouldn't be the
oh.
coolest thing.
Chain battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much chain battle. I have a good one. Mortal Kombat X Killer Instinct.
Oh, yeah. That's
Interesting.
Mhm.
Because I mean, okay, MK and Killer Instinct, like, it's just fit for each other. They have like fucking fatalities and the original KI and everything. I mean, it wasn't as gross, but they still had it.
Yeah, because it was rated teen.
Yeah, so I mean, Mortal Kombat X KI will work perfectly in my opinion.
Yeah, I do like Jago and Cinder. That'd be cool.
So Jago versus Liu Kang, that would be pretty hype.
And Glacius versus Sub-Zero.
Yes, that would be also fucking hype as well.
Cinder versus Scorpion.
I cannot think of one, but I'm gonna say Alex versus the World, where he just fights everybody. That'd be fun.
Oh, you fanboy, get out.
Yeah,
Like
go load up Mugen already.
One
I
of my
will.
dream games is a Captain Falcon action game, but I know
Capcom versus
Nintendo's
Mugen.
never gonna do that.
Yeah, like, if we were talking like just Dream Fighters, no crossovers, a Capcom only fighter where they can do whatever they want with all their characters, that is something that I wanted for years.
That would be hype.
It's definitely something they haven't explored to their full potential.
I think they have, but the game they had proposed just
Fighting
wasn't that
All-Stars
good.
was supposed to be that.
Yes, it was, and it turned out to be a flop.
What a fail that game
It was schizophrenic. They had like finishing moves that were incredibly neutered and not really finishing blows.
That game, it just reminded me a lot of EX3, just really, really bad, though.
I think Eureka assisted with development of Fighting All-Stars, which is why it kind of fell apart, because Eureka kind of moved on from Capcom.
Mm-hmm. Now they're doing a fighter, so that's quite interesting, actually.
The best part about Eureka EX Fighter is they're making it for the sake of making it. They know this game is gonna sell like shit. They just want to put it together.
I'm gonna pick it up. It looks fun.
Yeah, me too.
I suck ass at those Japanese ones.
I liked EX2, so I mean,
The second that game reveals either area or Nanase, I am there.
No.
I got Skullomania and Garuda.
Or Shadowgeist.
Dr.
Fucking Shadowgeist in that game.
Skullomania, Dr. Ryan, dudes.
oh yeah, the crazy fucking doctor.
Yeah. Oh, did y'all see like his new look with his new what he got on his finger or his hand? Like it's like a lightsaber thing, tiny.
It looks more like the nail that he had in EX.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. It looks pretty cool.
That shit glowed. I'm like, holy shit, is that new?
I just need to see more of it.
I agree.
Yeah, more gameplay would be nice.
I mean, there's a character reveal, and then there's the equivalent of showing a paper on screen for like a second. It's like, oh, this is a new character, woof, woof, and it's gone now.
I know they're gonna have a beta for that game in December, so I can't wait for that.
Damn it, I need to sign up for that. Yes, yes.
Well, we got rejected.
Like, I just want to see more of this game rather than, did you see the character? Well, let's show him again. Oh, there he is.
Now he's gone.
Do a thing? Nope. Goodbye.
Oh, and Chuck Norris.
See you in 2 months. We'll do a beta, maybe.
Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show where we plug our channels, Twitters, and what have you, and we support each other's business, quote-unquote business. So first,
oh no, you're missing something.
What?
You're missing the like button craze, remember?
Yeah, if you guys haven't already, hit that like button, because why, Ren?
If you don't hit that like button, you get no pussy.
Absolutely. That is the new lore.
That's the new lore. Hit that like button or you get no pussy.
Do it now.
Alright.
Anyways, we're gonna do our outros. Mr. Renegade Operative, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at RenOperative_. You can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative. As for content, I'm probably going to be uploading a lot of content here. Keep on the lookout for the Infinite Ammo 2-year anniversary, because I did cut that up and I put the Q&A portion like separate from the GTA session. So if you want to hear what we have to say about the group 2-year anniversary, be on the lookout for that, because that is coming out tomorrow.
Absolutely. HadesManticore is not here. He had to take care of some business at his actual job, his real job. He left the office building that we work at, quote unquote work at. So you can find him on his Twitter account, which is Hades_Manticore. I don't know what his YouTube is, but you know, once I find out, I'll let people know. Italian Stallion, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at ITStallion330 and on YouTube at ItalianStallion330. I'm currently playing Dead Space 1, and my next Injustice 2 video is, I think, Brainiac, followed by Raiden.
Absolutely. Mr. Kaneki, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and on YouTube under the same name as Google War Order. And I gotta say one thing, #OneBlackMan.
#OneBlackMan.
Oh yeah.
Mr. RADRAD, please tell us where we can find you, and please tell us what you thought about your first day on this podcast.
Well, first of all, you can find me on Twitter at @TheRadRad, and you can find my YouTube channel at youtube.com/SIWent, WE Born, or just Google RADRAD's Rad Games. I don't really have a particular schedule. If I find a weird glitch or if I find a cool thing that happened, I'll upload it. As for this particular podcast, I think it went rather well. It's just I've kind of been looking out for a fuck it, let's talk fighting games without having to talk about what tournaments happened recently or things that are centered around the professional level. Let's just talk about our great love of fighting games.
Yeah, if I can chime in on that, this is why I don't like a lot of other fighting game podcasts, because I really don't care about FGC drama. I just don't. Like it's fun to hear about stupid shit for only like so long, but I don't care about hearing about it for like an hour or so. It's like, okay, I don't give a fuck what Justin Wong did. You know, I don't care what lunch he eats. I just don't care.
I don't care about Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Dude, you hear
I
them
don't
talking
care.
about sponsoring Bud Light and all that shit? I'm like, why would we care?
Yeah, I just want to talk about.
Sponsor water.
I just want to talk about video games, and fighting games are up my alley. So that's what I'm looking for here. So I really enjoyed this podcast a lot.
Absolutely.
Even though I got roasted again, but you know.
Yeah,
Get roasted up, but
it wasn't that bad.
No.
you can find me on YouTube where I upload absolutely fucking nothing at Reaperz240. You can find me-
Creepypastas.
Yeah, fuck. Creepypastas are the best.
He's gonna read Jeff the Killer as Arnold Schwarzenegger tomorrow.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at Reaperz240. I will also be taking charge of the Infinite Ammo YouTube channel for a bit for the Halloween month, where I'm gonna be having some games to play, stream wise and or recording wise. I'm gonna have some of the actual crew either have them stream what they want in the channel or send me their recordings and I'll upload it on the channel for people to look at. But this is a fighting game podcast that I really wanted to make because I am a big fighting game person. Obviously, I'm not that great at some, as RADRAD could probably tell you, and probably some others. But I enjoy the genre itself. I feel like if you stick to one subject, you know,
It gets
old,
boring.
Dies out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it dies out. Yeah. We do talk about, you know, games in general, different types of genres and stuff, but I feel like one podcast dedicated to a genre that I feel a lot of people love was a good idea. I feel like it is going well and people are enjoying watching it, even though, you know, obviously the Infinite Ammo don't get that many views, but it's not really about the views. It's just about people coming together and hanging out.
Yeah, it's about the dedication, really. Like, I can talk about games whenever the fuck, as long as it's entertaining. That's why the podcast channel is so varied, because it's just not about games. It's expanded into comics and all this other stuff. So a lot of people have something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
It's just really nice to have a community out there that comes together with similar interests in minds and they play off one another. It makes it a really great kinetic experience.
Yeah, it's a dynamic discussion, pretty much.
Absolutely, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that are in the stream chat and that are a part of this podcast. I really appreciate RADRAD for coming down and being a part of it. Baby RADRAD on his first fighting game podcast, and hopefully many more to come.
First day on the job, huh?
I feel like we all
Yeah.
really enjoyed having him on. He's a very knowledgeable person when it comes to this stuff.
You did good, Rad. You did good.
So I can't really pinpoint when the next episode will be, but
No way.
it's probably going to be for a while, because, you know, there's stuff coming up like PlayStation Experience, and there's the betas that are coming out sometime in February and January and all that shit. Dragon Ball Z Fighters is going to come out, so everyone's going to be playing it. So I think the next time we'll have a podcast, it might lean into next year. It might be earlier, who knows? But we'll see what PlayStation Experience has. If they have a lot of fighting games there, then we're going to talk about fighting games.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So
Depends on
please,
what gets revealed.
please understand, if you don't see us for a while, it's okay. We're still alive, but we're just collecting info for the next thing, so you guys can enjoy that.
Like, I'll be honest, we were kind of bullshitting around with the chat questions because we didn't have a lot of news.
Absolutely. But it was fun nonetheless. We got like almost 2 hours in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, go team.
Oh, I gotta say one more thing. How's it feel that Gundam Versus, right? It's also P2P, but has better connections with the one bar than Destiny 2 with maintenance all the time.
That is really pathetic. I'm not gonna lie.
Destiny 2 is a joke anyway, so.
Facts.
That is another podcast for another day.
Oh yeah.
Can't imagine people spending thousands of hours on it. And that's really dumb.
You should not think about that though.
Anyways,
I can't wait for Go to the Place and Shoot the Lads 3.
Exactly. Anyways, this is the Quarter Circle Forward podcast. Please stay tuned for the next one and stay tuned for the other things we do, dumb stuff like SWAT and other fucking streams that we're gonna have.
Halloween month, yay!
Halloween. So,
That's
like
why
the
I'm playing
spooks.
Dead Space.
Good shit. All right, everybody. We'll see you guys later.
See you guys later. Good night.
Jana.
I like pie.
Fight on.